Yeah, I'd like to call this meeting of the Board of Fire Commissioners order. This is for November 28th, 2023. All commissioners are present except for Commissioner Fuller, who has an excused absence. Commissioner Bedino, would you lead us in the pledge, please? Okay, we have 4 sets of minutes to approve tonight. The regular meeting on October 26th, special meeting on October 31st, special meeting, public hearing on November 14th, and special meeting on November 15th and 16th. Unless somebody has a comment regarding any particular meeting, for motion to approve all 4.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve all 4 of the special meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to approve 4 sets of minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Commissioner comments, Commissioner Bedino,
Nothing for me today, thank you.
Mr. Thompson.
Nothing for me. Well, there is one thing. I'd like to thank you all for the birthday well wishes that I got earlier in the month. Totally unexpected. Thank you.
Commissioner Berger.
Season's greetings to one and all. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And the only comment I have is that I may have to leave early tonight, so if I do, it's nothing that you said or anything, but Thompson will take over. All right, agenda item 5, public comments. Are there any public comments? Want to come up to the lectern?
All right, hello Commissioners. Dean Baston, President, IAFF Local 2024. Since we now know that after the first year we'll be having a change in our governing body with the addition of 2 new fire commissioners, I would ask that these new commissioners be given an opportunity to weigh in on the decision of who our next fire chief will be. It only seems fair and reasonable that the next fire chief would be chosen by the board that they are going to work for. I say this because the timeline is short, roughly about a month to when we have a new governing body. It also seems that a newly hired fire chief would want to be chosen by the board that they are going to work for so that expectations can be clear from the start. I would also like to state our disappointment in the lack of involvement afforded to the employees representing a majority of the workforce in choosing our new fire chief. We were only asked if we could provide questions to ask the candidate. I'm unaware if these questions were asked or the answers to them, and we're still unaware of the number of candidates, names, etc. I understand that we have further interviews coming up, but still hope to be more involved in finding our next fire chief. I would ask that you postpone the decision of who our next fire chief will be until after the new board is seated and has a chance to weigh in on their decision of who the next fire chief will be. If the answer is no, could you please explain why? Thank you.
Okay, the answer is no. And the explanation is when we started this process 2-3 months ago, I'm not sure when it was, we laid out a timeline. Well, when applications would be accepted, when interviews, when the first and second set of interviews would be, so that all of the candidates could put those dates on their calendar. And so postpone one, I think would look bad for South King, because we've told everyone, you know, that this is when things will happen. The comment I will make is that we haven't released the names of the final applicants because we told the applicants, when they applied, that their names would be held in confidence till the final interview. That way, and very honestly, I didn't want somebody from Union calling their districts, see what they could find out, and possibly, I didn't want their districts or cities to find out that way that they had somebody that was applying for another job. This way, candidates have, might say, the rest of the week to let their bosses know they want to. In some cases, if they're not chosen, they maybe just go back to work the next day, and their district or city would have never even known that they were looking for another job. So this way, we leave it up to them to decide how and when they want their current employer. So we sort of made this promise to them, why we in the names until final interviews. Technically, that'll be Friday night, when we have the meet and greet. So we set a schedule, and that's the schedule we're sticking with. Don't want this to extend another several months, which is what would happen. And I understand what you're saying, but it's just unfortunate that the way that I don't want to extend this for several months into 2024 until commissioners get up to speed. I'm not going to interview everybody again. So, they have no idea what the candidates propose so far. Some of your questions have been asked. More of them will be asked on Saturday, both in the open session in the morning, the open public session, and in the afternoon session in the executive. Submitted 4 or 5 questions, I believe, all good ones. They will be asked. Great. Appreciate you. Any other public comment? Okay. Moving along. There are no commissioner committee reports in the package. So, agenda item 7, resolution 638, adopting the budget for 2024. Chief Van Valkenburg, read the first sentences.
Good evening. Resolution number 638, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of South King Fire, King County, Washington, adopting a budget for the year 2024. Adopted by the Board of Fire Commissioners of South King Fire, King County, Washington, at a regular meeting this 28th day of November, 2023.
Okay, could I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 638?
Mr. Chair, I move move approval of resolution 638, the 2024 budget.
I'll second that.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 638. Comments?
Chair, just comment that the admin team and the project managers within the department have done an outstanding job working through the process and coming up with a very workable budget for 2024, setting us. Thank you for dedication to being open-minded and having.
All right, hearing no other comments, all in favor of approving resolution number 638, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimous. Resolution 39.
Resolution number 639, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of South King Fire, King County, Washington, regarding the real property tax. Adopted at a regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of South King Fire on this 28th day of November, 2023. The following commissioners being present and voting.
Could I have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 639?
Mr. Chair, I move passage or move resolution 639.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 639. Hearing none, all in favor of approving resolution 639, say aye.
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 Heard unanimous. All right, resolution number 640.
Resolution number 640, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of South King Fire, AKA King County Fire Protection District number 39, King County, Washington, regarding the adoption of the International Fire Code permit fee schedule. Adopted at a regular board meeting of Commissioners of South King Fire this 28th day of November, 2023, the following commissioners being present and voting.
Could I have a motion to approve resolution number 640?
Mr. Chair, I move approval of resolution 640 for the fire code.
Second.
Here,
I'll second the motion. I'm sorry, did Caroline?
yeah.
Okay.
That was your other year that was there. Anyway, was there any discussion?
Since it's been seconded, are we on this? I'd like to have a brief oral report since this is not something. That's the budget review. Could be wrong, but I don't think. Do we have a brief presentation? Chief?
Yes, I'd invite Fire Marshal Nichols
see.
to come up.
See Chief Crossan, our fire marshal. Thank you.
Thank you. So what this is just asking for the permit fees to be increased by essentially about $10, $5 or $10, just to kind of come up to a little bit more standard. The surrounding areas, we are significantly lower. So we're just trying to come up a little bit at a time, a little bite at a time. The other thing that we are also looking for is previously last year, you guys adopted a resolution that allowed us to do reinspection fees, but it was only for operational permits. So if we have a business that doesn't require an operational permit, we have to keep going back and asking them over and over again to comply with the fire code. So this resolution now allows us to give fees, if you will, to gain compliance. And our goal is to just gain compliance. We don't really care about the money, but it seems like financial is an incentive to make them comply.
John, are there any new fee categories at all that we have that are adopted as well?
No, they're all the same existing operational permits that are still in the 2018 fire code.
Thank you for the presentation.
If I could add just real quick, that the goal is really to incentivize correcting the code violations, not to charge residents or charge businesses money. And the ordinance does allow for discretion based on the business owner working with us. It's not an automatic. If they're being productive and they're making progress, there is some leeway to waive the fee. And then the actual permit schedule is actually set in the fire code. So it's the same fee schedule, or it's the same permit fees across all jurisdictions. So if you have to have a permit because you're storing a flammable liquid in a building in the city of Federal Way, it's the same as if you were in Auburn or Kent. It's the same permits in every jurisdiction.
I have no other questions. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just a comment is that the longstanding goal of the fire marshal's office work toward voluntary compliance. Not probably to apply, but if voluntary compliance is attainable, business owners other levies.
Any other comment? Okay, all in favor of approving resolution number 640, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried unanimously. At this point, I'd like to just interject something here, and since we've just passed the budget, and I'd like to make a motion due to Executive Director Ganem's exceptional leadership throughout the years, his dedicated work on negotiations and the changes that he has made with the budget process, being more transparent. I would like to make a motion instructing interim Fire Chief Van Valkenburg and HR Director Mary Stevens put together a personal services contract, Executive Director Ganem, for the board to approve December regular board meeting. Second to that.
I'll second the motion and ask that our legal counsel also be involved in that review and that it's consistent with the contract had with our chief officers in the district, since that's the level at which has been operating for at least the period of time. Certainly deserves the same protection and benefits that the contract affords. Have with it. Thank you.
Any other comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Administrative team report.
So your packets had this month's reports in them from the divisions. Are there any questions from the board?
Through the chair, I don't have a question, but I've got a couple of comments I want to brief. First of all, to Fire Marshal Nichols, kudos on for proactive solution to the Des Moines new building elevator issue. A ridiculous situation. I recall 28 calls in 4 months. People didn't know how to operate the elevator. Was this a residential building? No. So certainly not appropriate that we have to keep sending an engine over every time somebody can't figure out how to operate. Thank you for being proactive, working with management, building management, taken care of. And I guess sort of a comment, it seems to me that's like a false alarm kind of, maybe this is the question for the chief. Do we have in a current ordinance something like this so that there's an incentive, like a penalty for X number after X number of calls, like a false alarm, that there be some penalty that would serve as an incentive not to have a problem like this go unaddressed months? Do we have anything like that?
Not specific to elevators, but we can certainly take a look at crafting a resolution that would allow nuisance alarm style, kind
Yeah.
of like what PD does. So we could certainly research crafting a resolution that would allow us to do that.
I realize it's an unusual situation. And then also great to know, and I'm not sure whether this is Sharice Gamble or Nikki Balls, because it's important, but it's great to know that the Washington State WABS acronym stands for. Point being that there's 30 students, Mount Rainier High School, that are coming to the station. Really fantastic opportunity for young people to get exposed. Fire services. I guess I would just ask here, maybe you can, will there be other high school students high schools within our district be able to take a,
Eventually, that is the goal, is to be more inclusive of the district-specific schools.
is Federal Way, or
I
Federal
don't-
Way High School and Highline Schools part of this same program?
I do not know. I don't believe they are. And I cannot remember the name from the acronym either.
WABS, whatever
Yeah,
that
I
stands
can't remember the name either.
Yeah.
Mary's here. I don't know if she remembers,
for.
but
I don't see-
the,
Mary here?
the goal is to be more inclusive with our surrounding high schools as well. This was an opportunity to reach out to a specific group. And the plan is they see fire service, but they also see there's accounting and there's HR and there's finance and there's other roles within the fire department, not just traditional, let's go be firefighters. So the ambassador group is doing a great job of creating a program that reflects the entire department, not just the operations, which is kind of what we're used to focusing on. So it's a more holistic approach.
Thank you, Chief.
If I could make an observation before we move on, the staff reports are just another great example of all the hard work people are putting in. And it's nice to see the level of engagement that we've created in the last couple of months and the synergy around the bridge plan and some of the things that we're doing to increase communication and increase the transparency and provide leadership. So it's great to see that those things are represented in all levels of the staff report. So thank you.
Okay. Financial report.
It is now. So we are entering the last month of the year. At this time of the year, we would be approaching 91.67% of budget. And I'm pleased to report that we are 2 2/22% under budget. I cannot take credit for us being under budget, and I don't exactly know why we are under budget by that amount. But as soon as I have a few minutes to look into it, in the December report, I'll report out why we're significantly under budget. It's not something I would expect at this time of the year. We were about 1.85, if I recall, last month. And I figured that we would probably close that gap a little bit and be closer to 1%. I do notice that our medical claims are down, so that's good. Maybe less people are going to the doctor, but all in all, we're 2.22% under budget for the year.
Is that inclusive of a full month's payroll?
Yes. In fact, I did have a chance to look at that because I was a little concerned that our expenditures this month were lower than normal. But this is a full month's payroll for all employees. And with the particulars, we have Matt Reinhardt here tonight.
We have mid-month utilities at $54,072.06. Accounts payable is $1,232,709.32. Payroll direct deposit is $1,410,335.08. EFTPS payroll taxes is $308,930.59. Medical claims processed as of November 14th, $137,860.31. Total expenses, $3,143,907.36.
All right, is there a motion and a second to approve the voucher?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to approve the vouchers. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the vouchers, say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried unanimously. Mary,
Through the chair, Mary, is that correct that our own school districts are not part of that program yet? They are. So the school district, the high schools in our territory will eventually be, that opportunity will exist for them. Thank you, Mary.
Just a comment that you asked about the acronym, the WABS, and the acronym stands for the Washington Alliance for Better Schools. And it's a partnership through Better Way Schools and to expose career opportunities to younger people coming in. And I just want to thank you for acknowledging that. Sharice and Nikki have worked very hard on this for several months, and there's been a lot of activity, a lot of participation from all of our divisions, putting together PowerPoints and putting together presentations. So it's been a work in progress for several months, and it's nice that they're going to be able to come and visit the schools, or excuse me, visit the stations, and then participate in activities and just learn about holistically how a fire service runs, not just firefighters, but with all divisions, finance, IT, prevention, accounting, HR. So it's just a good opportunity to plant some seeds in young people so that they can look to the future and hopefully consider this a career in any aspect that they'd like.
any other comments? We are adjourned. Thank you.